Hello, everybody. Welcome back to New Thing. This is Eva, and today we are going to be talking about essential oils. I'm back with my friend Marika, and we have a very, very special guest today on our channel. This is Jahan Thomas. Welcome, Jahan.
Thank you for having me.
And she's a crown diamond with Young Living and just a ball of information. And I just could not resist but to ask her to give us some info on my channel so you guys can learn more about essential oils and other products that Young Living offers. So I will just turn the voice to you and just ask you, maybe start with a question, why Young Living?
Oh my gosh, that feels like such a loaded question. When I want to be like, why not? Why doesn't everyone have Young Living in their life? When you realize that it's not a product and it's not a company, it's not any of that. When you look at the lifestyle of it and how you could enhance the quality of your life so simply by either changing out certain products, bringing more plant energy, into your home, including plants themselves. You know how it feels when you bring plants into your home, at least if you have a green thumb. I guess it's not so great otherwise, but but this is a simple way to incorporate what I believe is God's love in a bottle, and it's such a simple way to incorporate it into your life and just feel good. And I say that to people all the time, like, what if it just made you feel good? Like, what if you just did something every day that made you feel good? Is that worth it in itself?
Right.
So for me, something like that is worth it. And so when I first started, oh my gosh, I've been with Young Living, I feel like forever and ever and ever now. But, it really was that I just wanted to kind of play around with it. I wanted to see, I liked things that smell good. I mean,
Right.
it was just really overly simplistic when I first started. But I still appreciate those same things today. So I couldn't imagine not having Young Living in my life. Now, going specifically why Young Living as opposed to whatever, what other brand or, of essential oils is, for me, having the purity is really important. For me, having all the constituents, not just the ones that smell good in an oil. You go to the store or somewhere else and you get oils and it has the smell to it. Those aromatic compounds, maybe like a handful of aromatic compounds, but you could have over 100 other ones that are really beneficial to you and to your environment, your home, your body, all that stuff. So I don't want just the aromatic compounds. I want the fullness of it, as close to to nature, exactly how it came. I want it as close to that as possible. And Young Living's the only company that has those standards in place. Well, it's tough to say that because other companies, unfortunately, make claims that they can't hold up. So I guess it's not always, take my word for it. Like, don't take my word for it. Go and learn, and when you go and learn, you'll see that what I'm talking about. And that it makes a really big difference. Gary Young, who started the company, used to say, if you don't know your seed, you don't know your oil. And if you don't know your soil, you don't know your oil. And, so for him, it started at like the very, very, very basics of how can we create something that then, we just sit there and type on our computer and we have it delivered, right? So how do you create something that is going to bring the fullness of its essence and then make it easy to get delivered to people's homes all over the world? So I have like 1,000,001 reasons of why Young Living and why after all this time I continue to be passionate about it. I can't be passionate about something that doesn't feel good, that doesn't work, that doesn't help people. Right. Everything I do is altruistic, right. In my professional life especially, and I can't be aligned with something that doesn't do all those things. So here, talk about standing the test of time. I've been with Young Living first time around since like 1999. And then from 2004. So I've been here long enough to see the whole industry change. So not just, the different parts of Young Living. I've seen the entire industry change and a lot more recognition of it, a lot more pop-up companies, but none of them did it with the intention of having the standards. And for Young Living, it still holds true to have those standards, and it's made such a difference. Not to mention we have the widest variety of
Right.
whatever, and that's important to me too. Each plant has a different essence to it, even though they could be many used in similar ways. And again, just even enhancing your environment, why wouldn't you do things that would make you feel better mentally, emotionally, physically, your home, create why wouldn't you want to do those
Right.
things? And then when they're infused in all these other products that you typically use anyway. It's not habit changing products. You're hopefully brushing your teeth and doing your laundry and cleaning your house.
If I can interrupt you for a moment.
Sure.
I did not believe in like the Young Living supplements in the beginning. And years went by, and about a year and a half ago, we were at the park and I hurt my knee. And I literally like fell, my knee just, I don't know, it just slipped for me. And I fell. I didn't go to emergency on anywhere. I decided that I'm going to take care of it myself. I ordered myself BLM.
Okay.
That supplement, I mean, it is unbelievable how it supported my knee. And of course I did a few other things with the oils, with
Right.
Copaiba and, some other things. But from that point on, it was like going to the greens, going to Super B, and
Right.
just all the supplements. I've never ever taken a supplement better than from Young Living because they are infused with the essential
And
oils.
they're
It makes
infused
such a
with oils.
difference.
And it's so important. And to understand this here also, we don't have things that treat things. That's not what it is. This is
It's the
all
support.
about right. When you support your body to do what it would naturally do, it just maintains health. When you do what it naturally does, when you give it those supports to do it, then you get you get relief, or you get your body works, and your body and
it heals itself.
and there's a trust in this. And there certainly is, because we are bombarded with messages all the time that say that you have headaches because you're deficient in this drug, and you have, God forbid, cancer because you're deficient in that drug. Like, we're always getting these kind of I'm going to go as far as to almost say it's propaganda, like these messages that say the reason you have these things is because you're deficient in these drugs, which is utterly ridiculous. You have things that come up because you get imbalances in your body.
Right.
They could be nutritional imbalances, they could be an emotional imbalance, stress related, anything like that. Like, you get these imbalances. And so when you're focused more on, let me do the things that are like healthy for me so that my body is able to respond in a way that's also healthy for me, that's when you start to see results. But it's a paradigm shift, especially for like the US. It's a big paradigm shift because we have grown up, myself included, where you have this ultra dependency on all these like outside factors and never thinking that we have any power from within. And it's and I think this is why we have such mental health problems as well. It's like there's never messaging that's taught of like, you are so good, your body
Right.
knows what it could do,
Yep.
God is on your side, you
Yep.
have all this this stuff that works perfectly, no matter what's going wrong, you have trillions of things that are literally going right in your body, and if you just give it the supports and maybe step back for a second, and that you are going to thrive in a whole new way. But that messaging is now considered almost as far as conspiracy theory. There's an absurdity that goes on now, especially in this country. There's just an absurdity to people's viewpoints of what it is to actually have wellness. So when you talk, to carry that over, when you talk about, hey, you could support your body with these nutrients, and then your body will know what to do, and it will heal itself. You sound crazy. It's like, it sounds crazy. Like, how can that possibly be? But the only reason you don't believe that is because of the messaging that you have been fed. Not because of any experience, because you haven't done anything otherwise, right? And if you actually used your experience, you would say, hey, trillions of things are going correct at all times, no matter what. So things are going correct all the time, literally all the time. If you're alive, it's because there's things that are going right. Okay? So things are going really, really right. So when you focus on the right instead of these are all the things that are going bad, again, it's the difference between healthcare and sick care, right? When we have this obsessive focus on sick care, then we tend to remain in this loop of illness because we never focus on the wellness part of it. If you were to focus on the wellness part and say, I'm just going to enhance this, I'm going to enhance this part of my life, you're not only going to just thrive physically, but you're going to find that your mental outlook is different. You're going to find that you carry yourself different emotionally. Your relationships will go as far to be different because you're not just focused on all the down heavy heavy loaded stuff all the time. It's really learning how to be in relationship a different way. And when you, as you know, I mean, come on, we're all human. Can we just use like common sense? When you feel better, what you project to the world is completely different than when you feel crappy.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
We need more
Oh,
people
yeah.
feeling better. I mean, that's,
Yes.
again, I tend to take maybe an overly simplistic viewpoint of some of these things, but we need a lot more people feeling better. That's why Young Living.
Amen. I love it, and then it was just so simple, but
Right.
that's what it is.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
like on one of those days you get up and you're like, I don't want to do anything. You know, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, and okay, so going with that. So there's days you wake up, you don't want to do anything. We are taught in the culture that we are in that that's not acceptable either. Do you see how we're constantly going against our
Right.
messaging, or like our body's messages, our wellness messages, that we're getting signals all the time? And some people here, and I know you guys are going to say it too, some people are going to be like, but that's not realistic. I have to still get up and go to work, and I have to do this and do. I'm not trying to just look at the momentary stuff. I'm talking about really assessing your life. Like, take a step back, assess your life from a bigger, a wider angle, okay? And when you start to do that, you could start things every day. That doesn't mean it has to be a drastic change right away, but you start making these little incremental changes, over time, you're not even gonna recognize yourself. You're gonna
Yeah.
see
Oh,
such
that's
a
true.
big difference. And then you'll find a different type of joy, maybe even in the same things that aren't bringing you joy right now. You'll suddenly see it a different way, and it'll bring you a different kind of joy.
True.
Okay, so you mentioned bringing in Young Living into your life. How does that look like for you?
So it's actually in all different parts of my life. So like, and this is what I mean by the lifestyle. So like, I'll get up in the morning, I may put an oil on, or I may not. But like, even when I brush my teeth, I'm using oil-infused toothpaste.
Toothpaste.
When I wash my hands, I'm using oil-infused soap. When I'm in the shower, same thing, the shampoos and all this stuff. Like, I'm using, everything oil-infused. And this is what I mean about, like, having these habits that when you have them, like, a little bit, even throughout the day, it compounds over time. And so now you realize you have this oil-infused lifestyle. So I will diffuse, I actually smell oils, put them on, all that stuff. I do it, of course, in that way. But a lot of it is just in my daily living. When you have, the products from Young Living, they're already infused, and they're already in things that you would typically use. We wash our clothes, we
Right.
wash our hands, we do. So it's very, very simple to incorporate it. I do take supplements, although I'm a big food first person. Get your nutrients as much as you can from food. But I do take certain supplements that are helpful to me, like prebiotics. ICP Daily is a prebiotic formula. It's one of the best formulas. I'm a big proponent of gut health, and I teach a lot of gut health just in my career over the last more than 20 years. And so when Young Living came out with this product a few months ago, so it's fairly new, when they came out with it, and I'm reading the ingredients, I'm like, oh my gosh, I recommend like all these things in here, but I have to tell people, go here, get this, go here, like in all different places. And now I'm like, it's right here.
It's right
It's
there.
so simple. So another aspect of the Young Living lifestyle is really simplifying a way for people to live healthier, live more holistically, if that was important to them. It's simplifying it without you having to figure it out and go get resource in many different places. You have it all right here. So there's very little that I now need to get for my lifestyle. There's very little I need to get outside of Young Living. It's like me shopping from my own store, and then knowing the quality that I'm getting, and knowing the for me the energy that's coming along with it and what goes through it, because as you know, Young Living's an open book company, so you could go to the farms, you could
Right,
see
that's the
everything,
best
you
part
could
of
know you can. It's a very hands-on, interactive kind of company, which I appreciate, because I don't know, I just appreciate that. I'd like to know where my stuff comes
comes
from. I
from.
know some people don't care about that stuff, and that's
I do.
okay, but I care about that stuff. And it kind of also makes you feel part of like a larger community, and I'm very community oriented also. I just think that humans are stronger and more more well all around when they're in a good, solid, healthy community. I think community can make or break a human,
Right.
you know, and
Absolutely.
I feel that this is, you know, a place of such positivity and such connectedness, and with everyone having a general viewpoint of wanting to lift each other up, and you know, having that support and wanting to live a more natural lifestyle that's in alignment with the earth, which is in alignment with God, which is alignment with what has been provided to us. And so it's something for me that I find has been enormous in the overall quality of my life, and so easy to participate in. So
Right.
when people are looking for something in their life and they're looking all over, I'm like, it's right here.
Right here.
There's like this, it's not just about like, oh, I'm gonna order some lavender and peppermint today. It's like there's this fullness to it that I don't know of any other, I don't know anything else that gives that. I really don't. Where you could have this like almost I don't want to call it a completeness because it's not that. That's you know, but there's just this overall sense of like we have something that's purposeful and we're connected to, and it I don't know, leads for a good life.
Yes,
That was
absolutely.
awesome.
Absolutely. I know for myself that I could not live without Young Living. Like even throughout the times where I felt like maybe, you know, I'll skip a month or whatever. Like there were certain things I needed to get. Because it just like you say, like it makes you feel good. Like how could you not want that product that you just feel better?
It's nice to also feel like from an emotional standpoint, I know it's crazy. It's nice to feel like you have people on your side,
Yeah.
right? There's something about the community here, just to touch upon that again, where you just feel like there's people on your side. There's people that get it. There's the like-minded, you know, it's just when you know, we don't want to like bleach our houses up and down because we
No,
could
right.
see that maybe that wouldn't be so healthy to do, you know, that you don't have, and yet we've all grown up like that, right? That
Oh,
that
yeah.
is the thing to do. So whenever you go against the narrative of, you know, of time, people start to be like, that's crazy, don't do anything that makes me feel uncomfortable, right? You need to just stick to exactly what has ever been done before. So when you deviate even a little bit from something that has been done before, and those around you might be like, what are you doing? Like, this is, you know, crazy. Just do everything exactly the same. You know,
Right.
we're all supposed to be robotic. It's nice to know that you're landing in a community that gets it,
Right.
that's with you, and that we're all together. It's really nice that way too.
Yes, absolutely. Again, so grateful that Jahan was able to join us today. We really appreciate it, and we hope to do some more videos
sure.
Maybe
and
we can do
educational
some,
videos.
supplements for your gut health.
Sure.
You know, you mentioned that. I know a
I
lot of
talk
people.
gut health a lot.
I know a lot of people,
Gut
including
is your,
myself,
like-
can use some information.
Gut is your second brain, right? That's what people say.
Oh yeah, it does so much more than people realize, and if they really understood it and what to do, they would take care of it above anything else. They would take care of it. Yeah.
I can use some of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Definitely. So, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Like the video and comment below if you have any questions. You know, we will be very happy to answer it. And thank you so much, and God bless. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.